Alright, hello there everyone. I wanted to do a brief video on what happened over the weekend on the Jackie Robinson Parkway and why I think daylight savings time is going to cause a long ripple effect in the next couple of days beginning next week. Why you're going to hear more about a lot of road rage incidents coming up, because this is just one of them that's happening before daylight savings time. So here we go. So this is what happened here. So there was a dispute on the Jackie Robinson Parkway that happened yesterday morning, 7:35 a.m. near the Metropolitan Avenue exit, which I know the Jackie Robinson very well, and that's the Kew Gardens area right by Forest Park. The dispute then turned violent, police said, when the other unidentified driver opened fire on the 28-year-old man, shooting him in the back and the leg before continuing westbound along the parkway towards Brooklyn. So it says that the injured victim continued to drive another 2.5 miles before getting off at the Cypress Hill Street exit in Glendale and then seeking help. So, thankfully, the good news is none of the injuries are considered life-threatening. So, this is what I mean. Obviously, the crime in New York City is one issue, but the primary reason why I am doing this video is it got me thinking a lot about road rage and a lot about how a lot of these incidents are going to occur more next week once we spring forward. Next Sunday on the 13th. And I know a lot of people are going to laugh at me, especially my Long Island friends have laughed at me saying, "Oh, we're not going to cancel our Saturday night plans just to not worry about sleep." Well, for people who have serious health issues, I really think you should take this very seriously. And I know a friend of mine in California, when they spring forward, they're losing midnight on Sunday next week. So once it's 12 a.m., my friends in the San Francisco Bay Area, they're going to literally lose an hour's sleep as well. It's not going to matter because we'll be watching Saturday Night Live anyway. So primarily, what I think this is going to do, this is primarily going to affect the East Coast, and especially given that our roads in New York are in terrible shape anyway. This is what I'm worried about next week. You're going to hear a lot more of these road rage incidents primarily blamed on daylight savings time. And I'm in agreement with this article that I read last year, and I was wondering, where is it? I can't find it anywhere, and I'll leave it in the description below so you can read it yourself. But this is just proof that a lot of my friends were in agreement that I think we really need to make daylight savings time permanent. Because a friend of mine, she works until 5 o'clock every day, and me and her were in agreement that why can't daylight savings time be something permanent? A lot of adults in their 20s and 30s, for an example, they work late to make extra money so that way they can, pay bills and stuff like that. And, it's going to cause a problem on our roads next week, I think. So, I know this article was from last year, but basically, daylight savings time is going to begin next Sunday, the 13th. So, obviously, most phones and computers will obviously tick up, including gaming consoles, including smart TVs, other devices like a Roku or a Fire Stick that will just update. And for anybody who has an Amazon Echo or Google Home, don't worry about that. That's going to update the time as well. But this is what I am worried about. Incidents of heart attacks, strokes, fatal car collisions, all will spike. So this is the negative consequence of having daylight savings time, knowing that it's not a good idea to be losing an hour of sleep, knowing that when you're trying to get back to work on Monday, on the 14th, that's going to be an issue. That's really going to be a problem. And I wish that our government, and I know they're dealing with a lot of other issues right now, given that other things that need to be discussed, but daylight savings time needs to be all year round. It should be 365 days a year. And you could say, oh, it might not be a good idea to have a 5 p.m. or a 6 p.m. sunset. Well, I've been noticing since February that the days have been getting longer. And to have that natural cycle of not worrying about losing an hour of sleep, this is what worries me a lot. So let's just read this. So here we go. It says here that hospitals back in 2019 reported a 24% spike in heart attack visits around the United States. So obviously, given that the main factor that heart attacks, cardiac arrest happen after daylight savings time occurs is because your blood pressure goes up. Obviously, that creates an issue right there. And with increased blood pressure, it's going to make your heart create more beats per minute. I forget what the M stands for, but the point is, that's why I really think a lot of people need to take their sleep seriously next Saturday night. Because I know I'm going to be in bed at midnight next week. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm in bed at midnight next week. Next Saturday night, I'm in bed at midnight. Because I have a virtual party to attend on Zoom that night. But I'm telling you right now, I'm in bed at midnight. No question. So it says that extra 40 minutes of sleep will be taken away from us. Night shift workers will only get paid for the 7 hours of work they completed instead of their usual 8-hour paycheck. So, okay, you could say the night shift workers, they don't mind it, but, what about the people who have to wake up early in the morning and drive a car? Right? What about the bus drivers and the subway operators and the train operators? This is what worries me, and I really wish that we would start taking this seriously, because I know this was just one incident that had nothing to do with daylight savings time. But given that people are going to be groggy next Monday morning, my point is, please take your sleep seriously. Because if you don't, you're going to be in very big trouble for yourself. Your health is the most important thing. And, for someone like me who was an overweight man, believe me, I am going to get to sleep early next week, because that is a contributing factor of what, I have to deal with. So that's just going to wrap up this quick video. And again, I know this incident had nothing to do with daylight savings time. But what I'm worried about is you're going to see a lot more of these incidents of road rage next week. And given that New York is the most impatient city in the whole country, you can look it up yourself, I think it's going to get much worse next week. So that's pretty much it. Again, best thing to do is, maybe try to get to sleep around 11 o'clock midnight next Saturday. So that way you can at least know you get that needed sleep before Monday. And even try to go to sleep Sunday night early too. That's another thing that people should realize as well. So, I'm going to get some sleep myself as well after I upload this. So, that's it. Thank you for watching.